Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you made my heart beat.
So we are season 3, episode whatever this is for Friday content.
Yes.
We are recording live in front of our Patreon, as always. Last night we did our first ever After Dark.
That was fun.
There was drinking and
Debauchery.
questions and roasting, and it was a good time.
I had fun, yeah. Our patrons, some of them drank with us.
Yeah,
One couple busted out their wedding moonshine.
That's wild.
That was pretty neat.
yeah. We are going. That episode will have been seen by now because we're going to release it as a bonus episode. But for those of you who watched the episode of us in our onesies for the start of season 3, just know that if you enjoyed that content, we will be doing a lot more of that on Friday nights.
Yes.
So I think that I'm going to keep it at 2 drinks. That's just my. That way I still have one in the middle of the week in case I want one, which I very rarely do. But I don't like using up all my reserves in one shot.
That's a good call. I think 2 glasses of wine and 1 shot of whiskey is good enough for me.
Yeah. Did you have a buzz last night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I stood up and it felt like I was in water. I was like, okay, I got this.
This is what we're doing, huh?
1 foot in front of the other.
That's funny.
I was still cognitive enough, though, to do my French, and I nailed it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know you heard me talking it next to you on the couch.
Don't want to be up there, huh, bud? Big stretch.
Oh, big one. She's like, all right, Dad, now I want to sit with you.
Yeah, we're not getting in my lap, though. No, we're not. No. We'll let you say hello. Everybody look at her bow. The Ivy dog with her pink bow.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you're going to have a brother. And I can't wait. Okay, so we are not doing emails today, although I don't know if Zach is here or if we got an actual email ready for that. And if we do have an email, we can read it. But I would like to talk about the sanctity of the home.
Okay.
Where did the onesies come from? Those onesies came from Tipsy Elves, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I know that they were hot as a motherfucker. And I know that moving forward, that thing will never get worn again unless it's cold as shit outside.
Or in Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah. I sweated my ass off last night. We had the back door open with a fan at the door blowing 60-degree air into the house onto me.
And I was still sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, it was specifically onto you. Explains why I wasn't feeling anything.
Well, the fan is this big and it doesn't oscillate. So it was either...
It does.
Does it?
Yes.
How?
The settings.
Oh, well, I've never done that. I just aimed it at, put it at the door so it blew into the room and made it so that it didn't blow onto the back of the TV.
Gotcha.
I was being selfish with the air.
It's fucked up.
Isn't it? I was still dying.
Yeah.
Peach's face when she drank that handy rye was classic. Sazerac.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I like that word, though. Sazerac. Sucker and thuckatash.
Is that where your brain went?
Yeah, that's exactly where that went. I like it.
That's funny. We were looking for something very specific because Peaches made a TikTok this morning.
Yes.
You want to talk about that to see if there's content?
So somebody left a comment on one of my recent TikToks asking me to elaborate on me kicking somebody out of my house if they're not willing to give up my husband's seat. And he was like, I want to explain it to my girlfriend. I was like, I got you, homie. I went on like a 2-minute rant. And I talked about how I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. My husband feels like a priority. It's not just words.
Your husband feels like a priority.
Yeah.
That's not something a lot of men can say.
It's a big deal to me. That's like on my checklist of things every day is to make sure you feel like you're number one. And I said diddly darn tootin', people like that.
We need you to calm down over there, Ned Flanders.
Yep. And it was just a little chit chat about how I think that men deserve to be held in a special position within their own household. I said, I don't care if Uncle Jim Bob needs a place to sit. My husband's not going to stand for that. If I don't have enough seating to accommodate the people I'm inviting over, I shouldn't be hosting. Excuse me. You shouldn't accommodate others if you can't accommodate your own.
They are in the CNP picks if you want to try them. So somebody actually got on there and said that was some little boy energy because I won't let somebody take my seat.
Yeah, saying that you were a baby wrapped up in a man's body.
You can call that shit whatever you want. That's my fucking domain.
Yes, it is. Oh, I also said the only reason we are in this household right now is because my man got it.
Yeah.
The only reason we're making memories on this ground right now is because of my man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in here disrespecting the king of the castle.
Even if there wasn't some spicy brain going on there for me, the fact of the matter is it is like I view the house as like the king of the castle kind of thing, king and queen of the castle. And if we have dedicated places that we like to sit, like old people in recliners or rocking chairs, those are our fucking seats. We bought this shit. And like other people can come and sit whatever they want. But if I'm ready to sit down and you're in my seat or somebody's in your seat, I'm going to make them move. There's a priority, like a hierarchy of the home. What are you staring at?
I was just because there's a lot of emails in the CMP picks.
Oh,
So I didn't know if maybe it was listed for specific ones, but I picked one. So we're going to run with it.
okay. Zach said it's Sheldon energy. I will concede that. It is Sheldon. That's my spot. And again, spicy brain, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is you look at any like head of the household, their position is at the end of the table because they're the head of the family, and wherever the fuck they sit is their seat.
Yeah.
And I remember being a kid being told, don't sit in that chair, right? Like now I've earned that fucking right. That's my chair.
Yep.
So I don't think that there's little boy energy there.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way that we run our fucking house, don't come over.
Yeah, I told that guy that he had little pee energy for saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, I found one.
Okay.
I clicked one of the right ones.
All right. So let's actually do the email. We'll see if it goes into the conversation that we want to have. And then if not, we'll do a single email and then have a whole bunch of conversation afterwards.
He just said, I don't think they're necessarily related to what you meant.
Yeah. We'll run it anyways and see what happens.
Okay. So this is titled Drowning Mother Who Neglects Her Husband.
I mean, the title absolutely screams to exactly what we're talking about. Okay.
We'll see. I hope you will cover this on your podcast because unfortunately I feel this is a common relationship issue. I've been with my husband for 16 years, not government married. We have 3 children together. One is on the spectrum. My husband works out of town during the week and is usually home for a day and a half to 2 days on the weekend. I am the default parent. I own that and execute this to the best of my abilities. All I've ever known since the age of 18 was motherhood and survival.
I love how she said survival instead of adulting.
Yeah. That is a really good way to phrase that. Continuing on.
Yep.
I am responsible for everything school related from academics to extracurriculars. I am responsible for all the shopping, meal prep / planning, appointments, bill paying, house cleaning, and getting all the needs for said house. I have a family planner to keep everything on track. Every single day is booked solid. I also work full-time, including a day when my husband is actually home. He is responsible for the house and his truck. Although we do not have friends or family in the state, I lack any support system. Even when he is home, I am still doing all of this.
Hold on. Well, that's a you problem.
Not having a support system?
Yeah. That's a choice. You could absolutely start making friends.
Yeah, join mommy clubs on Facebook and start going to the playground once a week.
Right. You could, if you really wanted to start making, you should
Yeah.
really be making a new network of people.
Continuing on.
I mean, it's lonely as fuck not having a community,
It is.
and loneliness can look a lot like depression. So
Even when he is home, I am still doing all of this. His job is hard. He works hard for us, and I appreciate him immensely. Our issues derive from my neglect of him. As a male, and me as a wife, I do not fulfill my duties. I make sure we are intimate during his time home. Sometimes it's not as much as he would like, or as aggressive and in your face as he would like. He would prefer I want his kind of intimacy all day, every day that he is home. I know this. He has expressed it. Well, I need an elaboration there. If he's looking to tie you to a bench every time he comes home, that's not going to happen.
right.
But if he's looking for, I want you to chase me, I want to feel like I'm loved, I don't feel like that's too much of an ask.
I don't think so either. We're not even into this email yet. She's already like, this is a me problem.
Yeah.
And she's asking for help. If this is a you problem, why haven't you changed it?
Yeah. I hope she elaborates on what love looks like for her versus him. Because aggressive and in your face tells me absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, we're about that aggressive in your face love.
Right, but that looks different for us versus every other relationship.
Right. But we're not sympathetic. We're not sympathetic. We're not. I'm going to stick with sympathetic. but I don't think that's the right word towards other people when it comes to that. If I want to tell you got a nice ass or grab you or spin you around and pull you to me and make out with you, and we're in the middle of Publix or the mall or a fucking car dealership, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who's watching. Jealous.
Darn tootin'.
You ain't had somebody grab you like that in 15 years. Sally, that's your problem, right? Like, so what does that look like? If we didn't aggressively pursue each other all the time, our relationship would be boring as fuck.
Oh, yeah, it would fizzle out.
The booty shaking and the groping and grabbing and kissing and touching and
And pictures and
slamming and roughing
Spitting.
power bomb and shit talking, headboard banging off the wall, putting holes in it. Not me going, okay, guys, it's been fun. See you later.
So what time are we going to log over here?
Oh man. But that's there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to be engaged with somebody like that and your idea of intimacy looks very different, you might have picked the wrong fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
People want to be loved in their love language.
Right.
And that takes effort. Right? Because the way that we give and receive love is not always going to match your person's.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to put in the effort to master loving them in their love language, why wouldn't you do the same thing with the intimacy?
I agree with that. Continuing on.
Yeah.
I am completely burnt out, and it would be nice to do something with my husband that isn't sex-driven. I am constantly pouring from an empty cup, and if I don't feel up to being intimate, it leads to a massive argument. I am supposed to make sure he is taken care of before he goes back to work. Like right before he leaves. It doesn't matter if I'm sick, I suffer from chronic migraines, or have to work, or busy doing something that needs to be done. I'm supposed to know his cues. For example, if he takes a shower, I'm supposed to stop what I am doing to go in, grab him, say something dirty, and take care of it. I'm supposed to know what week he can be a little late for work so I can take care of him that morning before he leaves. I am supposed to send spicy pics every day to make him feel wanted and that I'm thinking of him. He doesn't understand why I don't have a switch. You know what's screaming very loudly to me in all of this? She does not practice any self-care.
She said she doesn't have anything to pour out. She's empty.
Sex is not a chore to me.
I fucking hope not.
Like me sending you spicy pics and sending you a dirty text message when I know you're talking to an employee or whatever, like...
We're standing in the fucking bank.
Yuppers.
The one time I didn't check my watch to see if it was a photo and I opened it and there you were in all your glory. And I'm like, well, that's a thing.
That poor old lady stand behind you. Bet she was thinking good for him.
I hope so. That's what I was thinking.
It's enjoyable for me to love you. And if it's not enjoyable for the emailer to love her person or anybody listening to this, why is that?
Yeah. It also says a lot about their partner being gone for a week and not trying to get some on the weekend when they're there. Like,
yeah,
that's a once a week situation. If they're not there, you know it's not going to happen for the rest of the week. Why would you want them to leave and not take care of that?
Yeah.
And I understand that
I set
there's
a timer.
Right. I understand. I understand that there's going to be times that we don't feel good.
Right.
You might get food poisoning or have a migraine, as she put it. Drink more water, get your doth pierced, something. Figure out your migraine shit. I don't know what to tell you. But I know that if we were going to be a week apart every single time and I only get you for a day or two on the weekend, we're fucking on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. There have been times where I can't breathe out of my face. You don't have to look at me, babe. Hit it from behind. Like...
This is going to be a really hard episode.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm already done with this. I'm ready to go home.
I'm all about accommodating, right? It's very rare for me to turn you down. I get being burnt out. I do. Also, I want to take a moment. If it's been a discussed thing, hey, babe, when I jump in the shower, I would like you to join me. I need a warning.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I'm jumping in the shower in 15 minutes. See you there. Done. I got 15 minutes to wrap up whatever I'm doing. Shower takes 10 minutes.
You just meet me after the shower.
Yeah.
I don't care how big your shower is. It's just not a fun situation.
Yeah. One of us is going to be cold.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be injuries happening because things are slippery and the bed's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just meet me in the bedroom in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So on his end of things, if he's expecting to know the cues, If I'm elbows deep in dishes and I have a child standing behind me screaming, I'm not going to hear you turn the water on in the shower.
Right. Yep.
You're pissing yourself off at that point.
Yeah, he's got that same energy of she should just know better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
tell women all the time, men aren't mind readers. You need to verbalize what you want. Guess what, homie? Women also are not mind readers. I also suffer from selective hearing. So if I'm like hyper fixated on the task that I am doing, or I am just so used to a sound, I don't hear it anymore.
Right.
Date nights need to happen if they're not happening.
They should be happening regardless.
Right.
Let me tell you how this would pan out. If I was gone for a week at a time and got to spend less than 48 hours with you awake, because that's the reality of it.
Right.
He's getting about 24 hours with her if he's there Saturday and Sunday. And that now you remove the children time and all that shit, he's getting less than that of actual awake time with this person.
Right.
That and what do you want to call it, like 18 hours? I'm gonna be up your ass, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like
I'm greeting you at the door, like fully done, decked out. I'm gonna give you something to look at.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me and be like, he needs to leave. Like this fucking 18 hours is too much. I'm ready for him to go back on the road.
That would not be a thing.
But that would be my goal. I'm gonna try to fill that love meter so fucking much that when I leave the door, you're like, oh, thank fucking God. And then Tuesday, you'd be like, damn, where's he at? Right? Like, got so used to him being up my ass that I turn around, he's not standing there.
But being up my ass looks like forehead kisses and holding my hips while I'm cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Going out of your way to lay on top of me and be my compression blanket while we're watching TV together. Like,
or sitting on a countertop while you're cooking. Like there's a whole lot of things that you can do to be intentional with your person. That idea of like just going and getting in a shower, like if I wanted sexy time, I don't expect you to initiate every single time. And if I know that I'm getting ready to leave in an hour and I'm going to shower before going for work and I got a little bit of time left and you're in the kitchen, like you said, doing dishes, I'm going to come say some really nasty shit in your ear and be like, I'll be ready to go in 10 minutes. I'll be in the bedroom. Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't expect you to just know. Because, just going in there and then getting mad that you didn't show up.
Right.
You're setting yourself up for failure. Right. There's a difference between loving your person and expecting your person to serve you.
Or perform.
Right. We serve each other from love.
Right.
It's not an act of service just because you're a whole and you owe me. Right.
Yeah. Continuing on.
Yeah.
He has made a comment regarding my appearance and why I don't do my hair and makeup or dress nicer. He says he knows I'm doing everything on the home front and that I'm a great mother, but I'm neglecting his needs. And I understand that. But I am also feeling it's another task on my schedule.
Whoa.
That's a full stop. Slamming on the brakes. Child just ran into the road.
Yeah. That would devastate me.
Yeah. I don't understand, right? So, not even reading on any further. She is wanting all of this out of him and is not willing to match that energy. Men are visual creatures. Don't get me wrong. I'll walk around in a hoodie, sweatpants, and a messy bun.
Yeah, but that does it for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, that tennis dress does it for me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's always done it, but yesterday it did it. And now I'm like, okay, when's she going to wear that tennis dress again?
It's me using that little stair stepper.
Gonna need to order some more of those.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's
why I literally just threw that on because it was a dress with shorts and I was getting a pedicure.
You almost got a mixture of Mortal Kombat and WWF yesterday. WWE now. It's WWE. I almost hit you with the get over here and a power bomb on the couch. Like
suplex.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
You're not leaving the house right now.
I want you to manhandle me.
I know you have an appointment. You're going to be late. Send a text message. I don't tell you. We are very visual creatures.
Right.
But we also assign meaning to things differently than people think they do.
Yeah.
You have a multifaceted sexy.
Okay.
Like what you're wearing today is hot to me.
Yeah.
That tennis outfit thing that you got, the tennis dress is also very hot to me. You in like pajamas makes me think of the morning after a rough night. Aggressive rough, not bad rough.
Right.
And then obviously you done up to the nine in a dress and high heels and shit. Like all of that is sexy. It just has different, I assign different things to those. So I think a lot of men are like that. I could be wrong. Maybe that's just a me thing.
I would hope a lot of men are like that. I think people need to get back to the effort that they put in when they were trying to win their person.
Well, they have to get past the resentment for that to happen.
Yeah.
I really truly do believe that people just hate their person.
Yeah.
We got tagged on TikTok in a video of we listen and we don't judge. And by the end of that video, the girl was like, you don't actually snore. I just tell you that so that you'd get out of here because I don't want you sleeping next to me or some shit. Like, she was aggressive with it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, well, I jerked off to your friend's TED Talk. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Wow.
you guys are really just nasty towards each other. And I don't know. I'm not going to go and watch somebody's content to find out if their entire shit is satire or not. I'm going to take the video for what the video is.
Yeah.
And that was not a comfortable thing to watch. Like, it felt like I was
Watching the destruction of a relationship.
Yeah. Yep. I couldn't imagine.
Both of those things would have been relationship ending for me.
Yeah.
You can't stand me so much that you're willing to lie to my face to get me out of the bedroom at night.
My snoring is a problem for me. And I know it's white noise to you. We've talked about this a lot. But I feel guilty about it. I hear
Blows
it
my mind.
and I wake myself up and I'm
You
like,
immediately apologize.
yeah, I can't stand it. Like, it's also a prison thing. I get that, right? And like, I'd probably get, beat the shit out of in my sleep for snoring because of the way that I snore now. And I honestly think that some of that's my weight. But knowing that that's a thing for me and it bothers me the way that it bothers me, if you were like, babe, you're snoring really bad, I need you to go sleep on the couch, I'd just get up and go sleep on the couch. I wouldn't even question it. I'd apologize and I would go. And knowing that that's a thing for a lot of people, she's able to manipulate that and he just gets up and goes because he's more worried about her peaceful night's sleep.
Taking it at face value.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
It's really fucked up. There are no date nights. There are no moments making me feel like I'm more than just a warm body. And there is no, hey, I planned this, get pretty, we are going to go spend some time together. There is no him taking the wheel.
If there was a get pretty, would she do it?
That's a good question.
Because he's told her that, I want you to get dressed up again. I want you to, she said that a paragraph ago.
Yeah.
So where's the truth in that? Is that he's told you to do it and you just haven't, or he's not doing it to the way that you want it, therefore it's not acceptable?
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you think that would pan out, knowing that he wants her to get her get done up? If she did, and he was to come home and she was like, I would like you to take a shower. I'm done up and I would like to go out tonight. I'm ready to go. Do you think that he would just go jump in the shower and find something for them to do? Or do you think that he would hem and haw and not do it?
I would like to hope that he would be excited by that.
I would. If you were like, I'm done up, I want to go on a date. Oh, we're going.
I'd be sending you pictures.
Let's run. I don't even
Jumping
need
in the shower.
Right.
Guess what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's
This
go.
is a dress I'm going to wear for you. It's not even on me yet, but I'm going to send you a picture of that dress.
I can't dance. Are we going dancing? Fuck it. Let's go. I'll be that. Wait, how was it? The Trump dance?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got nothing. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would not want to put in the effort.
Right.
You would think that being gone a week, that miss you time would be there.
Right.
And this is also one of my concerns about long distance relationships. And I know it doesn't work for everybody. Some people really nail that shit.
Right.
But the idea of us being separated like that, I'm calling you every free moment I got. All right, I'm at the
We're
post
falling
office.
asleep on the phone together. Like,
I got to run inside. I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
yeah.
Okay, I got
You
6
do that.
minutes to the next thing. Right.
You do that now, like,
Imagine how bad that would be if we weren't together all the time.
yeah.
I called you in the car on the way here.
On the way here, I was just getting ready to bring that up.
Go ahead.
I'm bebopping. I have my windows down. It's a slight drizzle, and I'm singing Thin Lizzy. The boys are back in town, and my husband calls me, and I answer. I roll up the windows. I'm like, "Hey, babe." And I want to let you know you look like a total badass in your Bronco. Like that's the baddest Bronco we've seen on the road today. I was like, oh my goodness, just stroking my ego. I feel like a badass princess now. And you're like, that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. And I was like, damn. Okay, daddy, thank you. Totally did it for me.
I could have texted it.
Right, you could have.
But I got to hear your voice and I got to flirt with you a little bit and make you feel good.
You heard the excitement in my voice. Like my whole tone changed.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
It's just effort, right? And you got to be willing to put it in if you want to get it out. Yep.
Speaking of the Bronco, I pulled up to that red light to turn on to Toledo Blade, and a dude in a red Jeep pulled up next to me, had his windows down too. And he was like, hey. And I turned down the volume of my music, and I was like, what? And he was like, that's a really sick Bronco. I like the pink. I was like, hell yeah, dude, thanks. And that was it. That was the whole exchange. He went back to listen to his music. I listened to mine. That was a pretty neat interaction. I meant to tell you when I got here, but I totally forgot until we had that little back and forth right now. What?
I would have been like, go duck yourself, pervert. No, I'm just kidding.
He had a whole bunch of them up there too, yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Your Bronco is unique.
It is.
And now that we both own them, the more we drive around and see Broncos, like you have like you know that the I am Maximus and I'm Jeff.
Yeah.
Like we have the Maximus Jeeps and all the normal or Broncos and all the normal ones that are like the sport ones that don't have the big Sasquatch package and look very basic bitch. Like,
right. You're right. Like I went through Chick-fil-A yesterday and there was a group of dudes, maybe 19 or 20, all walking past. One dude was like, "Oh my God, look at that Bronco." And they all stopped and they looked at it as they walked. Yeah. It made me feel good.
Wait until you get all your shit done to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a badass. Like I know not a lot of chicks are going to understand what's going on with my Bronco, but all the dudes get it.
Yeah, they do.
And that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my husband did this for me.
I told Nikita yesterday when he was adjusting the cameras at the house that the room case on the floor was yours.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, right on." I was like, "You know, we're doing them up so they're his and hers." And I was like, "So she's got all the kitchen and cleaning and all that shit in her Bronco, and I got all the tools and shit in mine." He's like, "Bro, that totally makes sense."
Yeah. I can't wait. Every time I get into my Bronco, I think about the fact I'm going to be able to do like a full kitchen performance out the back of my truck. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's very excited to overland with us.
I love that. I'm so stoked. We watched those videos of like 4 or 5 trucks all going out at once, doing the thing together, and people are getting hyped when somebody rock climbs, and we're building that community.
Yeah,
It makes me feel good.
We technically kind of are. I mean,
Right.
Nikita's willing to go. If we could get Andrew and Alexa to come with us, like we would have
got a whole team.
We would have the 4 vehicle thing. We'd have
Yeah.
a Toyota, a Jeep, and 2 Broncos.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I just got chills. That moved. Whew. All right. I wanted to touch on the warm body comment. She said, "There are no moments making me feel like I'm more than just a warm body." Well, you're not his wife right now.
You want to elaborate on that?
So she said that she's neglecting him. Where are you going out of his way to fill up his cup outside of the sex? If you're not offering little touches and, "Hey, babe, I miss you. Let's go on a date." There's no fuel there to, "Oh, wow, she wants to go on a date. Let's go." The done up. I will die on the hill that the only thing that women really bring to the relationship for a man is themselves. And that's peace and goofiness and making sure life is light and being visual stimuli. I mean, there's a whole host of other things to list there. Those are just the ones that come to the top of my head in the moment. And if you're not providing any of those things, you guys are just roommates and a place for him to stick it sometimes. I would also, if I was him, I would start getting a little frustrated if every time I'm home you have a headache.
Right. Or there's an excuse,
Right.
which she said there is.
Yeah. I get migraines. I have migraines. That shit sucks. You can boink me with my head under a blanket. Bury my face in a pillow. It boils down to, in my mind, a lack of wanting it.
On the no date night thing, being that he works out of town and comes home, what if that was me, right? Say that you really wanted date nights.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. Like I have not been home for a fucking week and I have 2 nights at home. I don't want to go anywhere. Let's do like movie and popcorn. Let's go have a drink at the fire pit. Like let's have a bonfire.
Staycation.
Something, right? Just
you can
you
have
and me.
dates at home.
Right. You absolutely fucking can.
Every night with us watching Superman and Lois, I view that as quality time.
So do I.
Date night.
So do I.
Bust out a glass of wine, you're rubbing my feet. Make out a little bit in between the infomercials. Start implementing, right? So I saw this on a TikTok. I can't remember who said it. Make out for 7 minutes. And it doesn't have to lead anywhere. That intimacy needs to be engaging, though. And it's in the moment, and it has your attention. You're not scrolling your phone making out with your person.
Right.
Right? You're not preoccupied with something else happening.
It's undivided attention.
Right. I also get that feeling like just a warm body, though. In my previous relationships, I felt that way. I was just a place for the dude to stick it. And that was my own perverse way to view it, making myself a victim. In all reality, I was combative. I remember, I'm not proud. This image of me is burned in my mind. I was over 200 pounds. I was obese. And I was working a very demanding physical labor job. I was the only female on my team. And I came home it's like swamp bath. I was gross. Like there was no femininity about me. And I remember walking into our front door of the apartment, and the person I was with at the time was recording something that he was doing. And he panned from what he was looking at up to me, and I was postured for a fight. Like my chest was puffed out, my shoulders were pulled back, I threw my keys on the table, and I just fucking went at it. like I said, that's ingrained in my brain. I never want to be that way again.
Can you remember what that was about?
No.
But in that moment, it mattered that much that you were ready to go to
pissed.
war.
Yeah. Not walking through the door, hey, babe, I missed you. How was your day? Immediately ready to just rip his ass apart. And I can see why I wasn't treated like a lady.
Yeah.
I was not presenting myself as one, which compounded with me feeling like I was just a place to stick it because there was no intimacy outside of wanting to get off. But I would also shut down, don't touch me. I don't want to hold your hand. You pissed me off today. And that's also why I'll die on the hill of, I don't care how mad I am at you, I will not shut down physical intimacy or trying to reconnect or repair. I shut that shit down a lot to the point where I sabotage all my relationships.
There's a lot of growth in that. Like being able to own that is huge.
That's why I've said that I always want there to be a baseline of what our marriage will be, no matter how infuriated one of us is, or life is going to shit, or depression, or hormones being fucked up. There will always be that baseline of our relationship where I'm not going to turn you away for anything when it comes to love or appreciation or showing gratitude for you being my husband.
I'm glad that you healed.
Yeah, me too.
And took a lot of accountability. I couldn't imagine not wanting to be in our house. I couldn't imagine not wanting to. I mean, obviously, I've lived that life. I know what that feels like. But after having what we have, like that idea of any of that, it's not only is it exhausting, like it's putrid.
Yeah, it's festering.
It makes me feel like it makes me feel disgusting. That's not the right word. It's vile. There's got to be a better word for that, but it's disgusting. I wouldn't want to.
It sounds like something a body would rot in.
Yeah, it's definitely not a place for growth.
Yeah, you said I don't want to.
I wouldn't want to have to come home and sit in my driveway ever again. Like unless there's a song on and I'm fucking jamming out and I'm having a good time or I'm making a TikTok. But the idea of pulling in my driveway and sitting in the vehicle, fuck. Here we go.
Yeah, what's it going to be today?
Right. What am I walking into?
I wonder what mood she's in.
Right.
There has not been a single day that you've walked through that front door and have been met with anything but, babe, I'm glad you're home.
Yeah, most of the time I don't make it through the front door. Yeah. You normally meet me outside. If you see me pull up on the cameras, you make it out there.
Yeah. The only times that I don't get up, there has been, I think, 2 times where I haven't gotten up off the couch and it's because I was sick. Or I wasn't feeling well enough. I was trying to preserve my energy to do whatever I was going to get done. And I always apologize for it. I'm sorry I didn't meet you at the door. I'm sorry I didn't meet you outside, whatever. But if I don't meet you outside, it's because I'm cooking. I'm in the kitchen cleaning. My eyes were not on the camera, and I didn't know that you pulled up.
Do you feel like any certain way that, because like that's not something I've ever asked for.
No,
that's something that you've done.
Yeah.
And I know that if it stopped, it'd be like, what the fuck? Like this is what's going on, right? But do you ever feel like you doing that makes you less of a woman, or like that you are somehow not feminine, or whatever the arguments are now because you're serving your husband? Because there's a lot of women on the internet who will be like, I'm not fucking greeting him at the door.
Nah, I'll do anything to see you smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could do it every single morning, I would meet you outside of our bedroom door with an energy drink and a kiss.
That was pretty funny the other day.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do it with the kids and that they're acting up and whatnot. I heard you click on something, or I heard you close a dresser drawer.
I blew my nose.
That's what it was. I heard you blow your nose. And I stood there and I waited. Yeah.
That was a pretty cool morning. I opened the door and both of you were there. You were there with a drink and Ivy was on the floor at the door.
Yeah.
I felt loved all around. And then I got hugs from the kids that morning too.
Yeah.
So, because they're not always huggers.
No, not always.
Sometimes they're like, no thanks, bye.
Yeah.
And some days they're like, come here,
Yeah.
So, do guys see that as needy? Amanda said, my biggest fear of living with someone again. Do guys see that as needy? I don't see that as needy at all.
See what is needy?
You greeting me when I get up in the morning or coming out of my room or coming home.
I would hope not.
I view that as like, you're excited to see me.
Yeah.
If somebody views that as needy, like if it was one of those things that every time we sat down, you had to snuggle into my armpit and like I couldn't get comfortable because your comfort was all that mattered.
And I got sulky because you told me to wait a second.
Right. That would be a very different scenario. But you just being grateful that I'm home or happy.
That you came home alive.
Right.
Like,
I don't see any of that as needy. I don't think that's a problem at all. I think it's fucking amazing. It makes me want to be there. If I'm having a really bad day doing shit, I know that when I come home, my house is going to be peaceful. I'm gonna have somebody there that loves me. Even if
Have
the
a good
kids aren't there,
meal.
I've got at least one person there that loves me. When I'm hungry, food will be made. Like I get to decompress and relax and spend time with the one person on the planet that like truly gets and loves me. That's a fucking win. Having the opposite of that, what am I working for? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Continuing on, I need to feel a connection to give this to him. I cannot function if it feels like I'm walking on eggshells or the constant anxiety that I must execute intimacy when he wants how he wants. I need to feel safe to decompress from the week for a moment, but he wants that moment focused on him. I have nothing for myself. I've lost myself. I have no hobbies or interests. I would like to. I feel like it would improve things greatly, but as my subject header reads, I am drowning in taking care of everyone else, and it's resulting in me neglecting his needs. SOS, where do I even start to fix this?
Well, being that he's only there for 2 out of the 7 days of the week and the other 5 are solely on your shoulders, this is a you problem.
I was just about to say, he's not there enough to be a disruption in your life.
Right.
So what are you doing with the rest of your week, right? She said she's working full time and she takes care of the household on all fronts and all those kinds of things, the children, appointments, bill paying. The first thing I would do is ask him to take over the bill pay.
Yeah, it can be done anywhere.
And it can be put on automatic pay. That would be it. If you want more out of me, I need you to help take something off my plate.
How much time do you really think it takes to pay bills? Because they're due throughout the month.
Right.
It's not like you have to spend an entire day sitting down and doing maybe you do have to budget, but
Right.
to just simply sit down and pay your bills is not a very
an everyday thing.
Right. And it's not very time consuming. What are you doing in your life that doesn't give you any free time? And if you're a parent and you've got kids and your kids go to bed, you have free time till the time you go to bed to take a bath.
Yeah.
Or, have a glass of wine or smoke a fucking J or watch TV or
Whatever.
fucking join a chess club and play chess online, whatever.
Read a book.
Something.
Right.
I'm willing to bet if you checked your screen time, you got a whole lot of screen time.
I agree with that. And if there's not a routine established with the children, I would get that going. Our kids are in bed and asleep by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Yeah. Sometimes earlier if it's been a long day. They know that it's dinner time, shower, bath time, quality time with the parents watching TV, a movie, whatever, and then TV's off and we're reading a bedtime story. Currently doing the Grapes of Wrath. They're kind of messing with that a little bit. Treasure Planet got too scary for our daughter.
I believe that.
Black Dog is terrifying her, even though I think it was the voice I did. I think the voice may have been
Too much.
too good, yeah.
If you know that you're burnt out, if you know that you're burning your candle at both ends and you're doing nothing about it, you can't be mad at somebody else because they're not aware of what's going on with you.
Right.
And for you to be upset with him because he's not doing the things that you want him to do when he's not fucking there is a problem. Mm-hmm. You chose to be with somebody, or you guys chose this life where he's working away for a week and is home on the weekends.
Yep.
If I was her and you were working away for a week, when you came home on Friday, our house is going to be clean.
Oh yeah, dinner's going to be in the oven, lunch, whatever time you get home.
I want as much time Friday night as I can get because Saturday and Sunday is going to go by real fucking fast.
I would meal prep so I wouldn't have to do any cooking on the weekends.
Right.
Make something, throw it in the freezer. That way, lasagnas are super easy. I could meal prep that, throw it in the freezer, and then have it just throw it in the oven for dinner time. We would have leftovers for lunch the next day. I would make sure I have enough to send you to work with a homemade lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's things that she could be doing while he's gone to fix her home and to fix her mental health.
Yeah, I would get on time management. I would figure out a routine. I schedule my hobbies. I said that to somebody once and they're like, that's a fucked up way to live. It's not. I have ADHD. I get distracted stupid easily. And if I sit on my phone reading an article, next thing I know, 3 hours have gone by because I'm down in a rabbit hole. And now I have to get back up and do chores and I was not able to do anything that I wanted to do. I have no problem saying at 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to sit down and knit for 2 hours. And then after that, I can do whatever else I want to do. But for that 2 hours, I'm knitting.
The person that said that to you, are they broke?
Yes.
Crazy, right? They travel?
No.
Crazy, right?
I also don't have a good relationship.
Do they have a car?
No.
See how it works?
Yeah.
You work hard to get the things that you want so that you can live the life that you want to live.
Right.
Money is a tool to get you to freedom. Mm-hmm. And when people look at it as a tool and not a resource, it changes things. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that. Anybody that's not living the life that you don't have to live this life. You can live the life that you want to live and be happy, and that's
You start
totally
it today.
Huh?
You can start it today.
You can. You absolutely can. Or you can just accept that your life is very different and the things that are going to fill your cup looks different than ours.
Yeah.
We want to travel the world. We want to see shit and have nice things and fucking
And bring the kids on those trips.
and truly live our life. And we can't do that if we don't schedule our life the way that we schedule our life. And that doesn't mean that our life is empty or that it's too chaotic. I fucking love all of this.
Yeah.
It gets tiring sometimes. There are days where I'm like, man, I really don't want to do this today. And for the most part, we're like, okay, we're not going to do anything today because we fucking work to get to that point.
Right. We make our own schedule.
Yeah.
I would also, what else was I going to say? It was another piece of advice for this. We talked about routine, scheduling. Can't remember where I was going with that, but now I'm going to tell a little anecdote. When I was working full time, doing that hard, physically demanding labor, I would schedule cries and walk-ins. I got 15 minutes to sit in here and cry. I would do it. Set a timer on my phone. That 15 minutes was up. All right, bitch, let's get back to this. Every single morning, I remember there was one time, the person that I was with, it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting in a Publix parking lot. And I called the person I was with and I just broke down crying. I fucking hate my life. I don't want to go in here. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this tomorrow. I don't want to do this next year. And I had a whole mental breakdown. And then I got off the phone and I went into that Publix and I continued that job for another year and a half. Because it's what I had to do in the moment.
Right.
You want to get into another one?
We are 45
hour.
minutes in. After cuts, we'll probably be around 35 minutes. We can just have conversations about the home. Because, I mean, ultimately, that's what I wanted to do. Unless you want to read that other email.
No, I'm good. I'm listening.
I know. I'm trying to figure out where to start.
Oh.
Because we did the email, and my brain is still on the email.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about the sanctity of the home and the fucking, having my own spot to sit in and you having your own spot, and like what that would look like if we were having dinner and we had a big kitchen table. We would have the places that we sit that are our spots. Mm-hmm. And if that means that you sit on one end of the table and I sit on the other, or I sit on one end, in the head, the head of house part, and you sat right next to me, like I'm not. If somebody else decided to come and sit there, I'm like, you need to move.
Right.
And I don't think that that's unreasonable to ask of people.
No.
But that conversation, I wanted to lead into things that you can do to start making your partner feel welcome in the home and not dreading being there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of this dude that was in that email actually wants to come home over the weekend.
That's a good question.
Like if he's just coming home to have sex, she should be grateful that he's still coming home if that's the only reason why he's being there.
Yeah, he could be getting it anywhere else.
Right. And probably with a whole lot less attitude and a whole lot less excuses.
More excitement.
Yeah. Somebody who's actually
do
enthusiastic about the deed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is a very short road to infidelity.
100%.
Zach said, to be better, I feel super disrespected when people make demands in my house. How do I establish healthy boundaries in my own home so it operates that way that I want it to and is best for me? Ooh, I feel super disrespected when people make demands in my house.
Make demands in my... What kind of demands? Is this from somebody in the chat? Because you're not going to talk to me in that tone in my household. You can try that again, or you can see yourself out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a single scenario. Well, I guess I can think of a whole bunch of them, but they're not relevant to my life now. Mm. But in my past life, there were fights with people coming in and messing with the thermostat or demanding what was on television or what we were watching. Like,
jeez,
there is if you are a guest, you have guest privileges.
Right.
You can help yourself to what's in the refrigerator. But there are things that are off limits.
Right.
You don't touch somebody else's thermostat unless you're paying the fucking bill.
Yeah. I'm not touching their TV remote either.
For the most part, I'm not either. If they're like, put whatever you want on, you now have permission to do that. But I couldn't imagine. I'm not even comfortable sitting down in people's houses.
Me either.
I stand most of the time.
Yeah.
I am very curious as to what kind of demands or what the demands look like as to how I would set the boundaries.
Yeah.
The thermostat situation, the first couple times that it happened, because it was not my relative that was doing it, I let it go. I asked the person that was related to them to take care of it, and it didn't. And then finally, I said something because nothing had changed, and they continued with the disrespect. And I viewed that as disrespect.
100%.
And my response or my situation in that moment was, This is my home. You are a guest here. If you're warm or you're uncomfortable, leave.
Right.
You don't pay the electric bill. This is not your domain. It is mine. If you would like to stay here, you're more than welcome to do so. But the moment you start fucking up my castle, I don't want you here anymore.
You're not welcome anymore.
Right. And it created a whole fucking thing. Like, it was a big ass fight that night over that. And I'm not.
That's insane to me.
It's insane that it has to happen like that. The fact that people feel that comfortable in somebody else's home that they can come over there and start doing shit like messing with the thermostat or taking over the television or like sleeping long ways on the couch. Like, there's a very loud, I'm the center of the universe and you're going to cater to me because I'm a guest in your home. Well, you're not going to be a guest in my home if you don't know how to fucking act while you're here. Because you being here is not a right. It's a privilege. I would like to spend time with you because you're my family member or my friend or whatever the case may be. And the moment that you start making my home unenjoyable, you got to go because there's nowhere else in the world that I can go that's going to make me feel as good as being at home.
Right.
It's all my shit. The temperature's where I want it. Fucking TV remote's where I want it. The TV's where I want it.
Ass prints molded to you.
That's it. Fucking chairs like Cinderella's slipper, but for my ass. Dog's bed's right fucking there.
Yeah.
Like we built this to be ours. I'm not going to let somebody come in and shit on that.
100%.
If someone is naturally warm-bodied, I'd suggest them have a portable mini fan, the handheld ones, to take with them. I have a hard time sitting with guests in my home. I feel like I should be serving them and such. Well, that's Southern hospitality, even though you're Canadian. Because that is it. You are supposed to host your guests. Now, if you have family over, that's a different situation. And where does the line go from them being a guest to being family? For example, if we went to Thanksgiving dinner at my family's house and the kids are all arguing over who's doing dishes, I'm not fucking doing the dishes. I'm a guest. I appreciate you guys cooking. I'll throw down some money for it to help chip in if that's what you want to do, but I'm not doing the dishes. I'm a guest here. If you guys ever came to my house, the last thing I'm going to be doing is who's doing dishes.
Right.
This is our home. We know where everything goes. We want the dishes to be clean. We're going to do it to our standards. I'm not asking for that. I would rather you not do the dishes. I would rather you fuck right off after we're done eating, stay out of my kitchen, stay away from my shit.
Take leftovers so I don't have to worry about it.
Right. We got this.
Yeah, I am very much... I have a hard time with our cleaning lady doing dishes. Like, that is a very big thing for me. Family would have an elevated privilege. You don't have to ask me to get a drink. Just go get a drink. You have to ask for a snack. You can go get a snack. If you're a guest in my household, I don't want you just rummaging through my refrigerator. Hey, can I go grab a drink real quick? Yeah, we have sodas in there. There's bottles of waters on the ground, whatever you want. Yeah, it depends on the status in our life. There's close friends I'd be okay with just going in our fridge and getting food and whatnot.
Right. Well, you realize that the people that are actually invited to our house is all close friends that could just go get what they wanted. Like, I can't think of a single person that's been in our house on a regular basis that I wouldn't let just go into our fridge.
Oh, regular basis is a key thing there for me.
Yeah. I could think, like, while we were playing poker, there were people who were playing poker with us that I wouldn't want rummaging through our cabinets. But for the most part, the people who come to our houses, like, if they know where we live and they're welcome in our home, I don't want to have to serve you. If you're thirsty and you're like, hey, can I get a drink? Yeah, help yourself.
Right.
But if you just got up and went in there and started digging through my shit, that might be a little different.
Yeah, I expect an announcement. If you're leaving my living room, where the fuck are you going?
Right. I could see that. Like, hey, I'm going to go grab a snack. And grab a drink real
we're
quick.
going to use the restroom real quick. I'm pausing it for me.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that includes family. Like, you don't need to be walking in my husband's whiskey room for no reason.
Zach said, when I go to someone's house, I don't even assume water is available. I minimize my impact on a home when I go somewhere. And that you should.
I act like I'm going to damage the ecosystem when I go in someone's home.
Right. You're a guest there.
Yeah.
You should be acting accordingly. That doesn't mean that you get to go in there and Dave Chappelle, Rick James, somebody's couch.
Right.
I also don't think that if you have people over, you should be laying on the couch.
Oh, 100%.
Unless you've got like a giant, like multi-sectional and there's like still 4 seats left over, you shouldn't be sprawled out like that.
I agree with that.
Heather said, question, how would you respond when the men you are hosting stand up and start cleaning up after dinner in your domain? I would tell them to stop what they're doing and leave their plates on the table.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys wanting to help out. I got this.
Yeah.
Then if one of them kept going, I'd grab my wooden spoon and make a joking but serious threat.
Yeah. I'll treat you like a nun and hit them knuckles. You don't put that plate down. Yeah. So I understand the want to be respectful in that situation from those men, and that's how I would approach that. Hey, I realize you're trying to help clean up, and I really appreciate that shit, but we got this.
Yeah.
We have a system. You guys are gonna leave. Peaches and I are gonna talk shit about everybody that was here tonight, and we're gonna do it while we're doing dishes.
Yep.
We're gonna have a great time in the kitchen. Don't take that away from us, right? Like,
Right.
and, you know, we're gonna have a debriefing.
Yeah. I'm also not above telling somebody if you do that again, I'm going to be offended.
Yeah. No, I agree. I fucking agree.
Yeah.
Because there is a level of no,
Right.
no. All right, now you're starting to piss me off.
Right.
Yeah. Kay Dizzle said, I rarely have new people over. It took one person not controlling their child in my home to make me never want new people in my house ever again. I fucking get that.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not scared to tell people either. You have a demon for a child.
Yeah. Well, people get overly protective of their kids after their kids have done something to disrespect the house.
Yeah.
If you were that worried about what your kid was doing and their behavior before somebody said something or had to correct your child, it'd have been very different. If I have to tell you, like, hey, can you get your kid? It's already gone too far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jenny said we did a good job sharing space. It's everybody just treated their area as if it was their own little homes, and then the communal kitchen and living room.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was no discussion. That
just played out that way.
That felt like family. It really did. Zach said a good example is when I came down to visit you guys in your house. I think I made no assumptions about the space and my welcome. I didn't go prying into anything. You offered drinks and we're good.
Oh,
good
thank
hosts.
you.
We were good hosts.
I was very worried about that.
I also gave 3 to 5 business days notice that I was coming.
I love that too.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
He drove from the other side of the state 3 hours to meet us. That
Just
was
to hang out.
And we let him come to our house.
Yeah, and he was a guest on a Patreon Live, and that's one of those core memories I'm never going to forget.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Very proud to show off my kitchen that day. I take a lot of pride in my kitchen. I spend a lot of time in there.
Yeah.
It's where I make good food for my family.
You do spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
I do. Our kids have started calling me a chef, and I like it.
Thanksgiving, I didn't sit for over 12 hours. I smacked a hand and gave that Canadian look. Mm-hmm. Did it say sorry? That was the 100K live.
That was. Yep. That was a good live.
Yeah. What a fucking wild life.
It really is.
Abby said, we took little man to a friend's giving and he got a little too rowdy and I immediately had him apologize to the homeowner. That's good because you're teaching people to be respectful of other people's space. You know, when we were kids, we would wreck a bedroom, right? Like by the time we were done playing, you know that when we left, that kid got in trouble and had to clean their room. Or like the next day, that room's fucking disgusting, go clean it. But the parents were super cool while we were there letting us play and do our thing. And we were always super cool and respectful to the parents. You know, the fact that the parents even let us come over and spend the night or hang out there the way that they did. Like, they didn't have to do that shit.
Right.
And our parents made sure that they fucking told us that. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going over there. You are representing our household in there. So if you go over there and act a fool, they're going to know that we don't have any control in our house. Like, you need to be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
They would tell you that shit for a reason.
I hate the kids with that. Don't be acting a fool.
Yeah.
Hit our daughter with that the other day. I can't remember what she was doing. She was something whiny. She wasn't getting her way. Oh, it was over a bottle of water. She had 4 bottles of water sitting in her bedroom. And she started crying. She was like, well, I want a new water. I'm like, don't act a fool in my kitchen. You can either go get a bottle of water, put some ice in a cup and drink it, or you can go cry about it. You're not getting a new water. Sitting out here wasting water.
Yeah. Yeah, they're notorious for that shit. Michelle said, I corrected someone else's kid at my brother-in-law's wedding because the kid almost ran into my daughter with a ride-on toy that the boy was too big for anyways. I would have corrected that too.
Yep.
But see, that's also a cultural different things. Trevor and I was just talking about this yesterday when they were at the house with all the kids. Thursday. It was Thursday.
It was Thursday, yeah.
We were joking and he's like, I was like, bro, if your kids are here and you want to let them play in the backyard with the kids, they can come play. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I can work on the fire pit for a little bit and then I got to go get my car. And I'm like, you can leave the kids while you go get the car. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't give a shit. I was like, if they act up, I'm gonna put them in line. And he was like, I mean, if you got to beat them. And like, we laughed about it for a minute. And obviously he didn't mean for me to actually put my hands on his kids, but he looked at the kids flat out and was like, if he's got to discipline you, he has my permission to do so. And I looked at him. I was like, bro, you really are like the Southern guy. Like, this
yeah.
is normal behavior. You act up in the South, you're getting it. It doesn't matter if it's your neighbor. Like in the 80s, you get spanked by your neighbors. They were holding it down until mom or dad got home to actually get that punishment in.
Yep.
You can't even joke about that shit now. Somebody jokes about touching your kid now, and it's fucking game over for everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's right, but if the kid knows that there's not going to be any consequences for its actions, it's going to do whatever the fuck it wants to do. It's going to disrespect everything. And that's going to carry into adulthood. Darth Cinderin said, making a big step in the next couple weeks going insurance sales manager. I'm nervous as hell, but the potential for financial security and time with the kids is too appealing. Wish me luck. Good luck.
Good luck. I'm going to keep you in my prayers over that one.
Oh, yeah, my dad's fire partner threatened to whoop my ass in church one time. There you go. That 100K live was so stressful for me. Was it because we were eating the chips? Why was it so stressful for you? Fuck those chips.
Yeah, I'm never doing that again.
No?
Never
Even though
again.
you did it better than I did?
My guts were messed up from that.
I had to drink Pepto afterwards.
Yeah, I had a lot of intestinal pain.
Shit's so stupid.
Yeah.
The fucking dumb things that we do in life. The dumb things we do. Well, this puts us a little over an hour. I'm sure that by the time it gets edited down, it'll only be 45 or 50 minutes, and we can leave some of the banter in with the chat. But anything you want to talk about?
No.
All right. I think I want to play some Call of Duty. I haven't played video games in a while. So, you ready to wrap up?
Yes.
With that being said, guys, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.